everybody to today's class. Today we're looking at phrasal verbs again. We're looking at phrasal verb clusters. Now these phrasal verbs are taken from the back of my book, which I am pleased to say is now ready. If you go to skypelessons.com, that's Skype lessons with a hyphen, skypelessons.com/English courses / I'll put a link under the video, of course, to my website. You can find this phrasal verbs book, and this phrasal verbs book is very long. It's got 450 pages. There are more than 250 images inside the book, so I hope that will help to draw out some of the subtle nuances of these verbs. And there are a lot of chapters in there. Certainly all the chapters, all of the lessons that I've done, phrasal verbs with bring, phrasal verbs with come, phrasal verbs with put, do, keep, be, they're all in the book. And at the end of the book I have a revision section, antonyms and synonyms and clusters. So if anybody would like to get that book, I'm offering it at the moment on my website for £20. Now I know that's quite a lot of money, especially for an ebook. This is an ebook we're talking about, it's a PDF. But the PDF is very long, it's 450 pages. 350 of those are exercises. The last 100 are answers to the exercises. And to make sure that it's a good deal for you, for a limited period, I will offer 3 ebooks as well. Mindhunter, House of Cards and Line of Duty will be thrown into that. So for £20 you'll get visual phrasal verbs, the whole book in an e-version. It's got lovely links inside that Yuri did for me. Thanks very much, Yuri. He did the layout of the book, so it all works as an ebook. You can click straight and you get straight through to the answers section so that you can see exactly what the answers are for your exercise. So it's a fully functioning ebook, and because I had to spend a lot more money to get it all sorted out, and I've checked it for mistakes a few times, so it's done in a more professional way than my previous ebooks. So I hope that makes you realise that it is worth the money. So if you go to that website, I'll put the link below after I finish this. This is a live class, so I can't put the link up, but it is www.skype-lessons.com/English-courses, I think, but you'll have to check that. So we're doing phrasal verb clusters today. We're going to start to introduce something new. So all of these have got in except for one which has got out. So if something is ushered in, if something ushers a period of history in, then it introduces a period of history. This is very much used with periods of history and epochs, eras, that kind of thing. So you might say that the drop in house prices has ushered in a new era for home buyers, something like that, meaning a new period of history. The drop in house prices has made it different for prospective home buyers. Okay? So this really does mean to introduce a new period of history. You might say the Industrial Revolution ushered in a new era in human history, and of course it did. Or the electric light bulb was an invention that ushered in a new period of history. The car, the motor car, ushered in a new period of history. Now if you phase something in, you do it slowly, over stages, several stages. So perhaps a new law may need to be phased in slowly. Okay, and it just means it isn't done in one step, it's done slowly over several stages. So it's exactly the same as the next two, but the next two don't mean slowly and they don't mean in several stages. If you bring something in, it means you introduce something new, but it's usually legislation or laws. Okay, the government can bring in a new law, or they can bring in some new legislation, and they can also roll out new legislation, and it means exactly the same thing. Okay, roll out legislation, but you could roll out a product. Apple can roll out their latest iPhone, so it means launch, roll something out. Okay, I would actually say Apple have brought out their latest iPhone if I was going to use bring. I wouldn't say brought in. For launch, I would certainly say roll out or bring out. Okay, so that's bring something out. You might want to remember that one as well. And lastly, you can bring in customers. You can bring in new customers. And here it means something very similar to reel somebody in. By the way, if people are wondering what is STH, it's something, and SV is someone, somebody. I've changed these. You know that I usually do S.O and S.T. Well, a friend of mine pointed out that that's not correct, and that actually I should be doing it like this, like the dictionary does it. So I've changed it, and you'll find it like this in my phrasal verbs book as well. Okay, spend. Got lots of ways for saying spend. You can splash out £50 on a new, I don't know, a new, what costs £50? Not much nowadays. You can splash out £500 on a new computer. You can fork out money, but remember, this is, when you splash out, you spend happily. You spend a lot of money, but you do it happily because it's something that you want. So my son would like to splash out on a PlayStation 4. But when you fork out, you don't want to do it. So at the moment, it's April. It's that time of the year where a lot of self-employed people are thinking about taxes. And so we have to fork out money on our taxes. I'm not sure how much I'll have to fork out, and I'm not going to say on a public video, but let's just say for argument's sake, somebody has to fork out a few thousand on their taxes. Okay, and that would obviously, nobody likes paying their taxes. I don't think anybody finds it pleasant. Okay, if you pay something off, you completely pay a debt. Usually it's a debt. So we would all like to pay off our mortgages, yeah? Then we don't have to keep paying this monthly payment to the bank. I would like to pay off my mortgage sooner rather than later, because then I'll be happy and I can use that money for something else. Now, if you're saving up, you are saving and saving and saving to buy something good. So I told my son when he said he wanted a PlayStation 4 that he would have to save up for it. He'd have to do lots of jobs, put aside some money every week, set aside some money every week, and eventually he'll be able to buy what he wants. So all of these are about saving. Save up money, put money aside, put money by, set money aside, set money by. They all mean save money. So these aren't really spending, these are saving. All the rest are spending. These three are spending. Okay? Come to means amount to. I put it on here because it's a phrasal verb connected to money. That's the main reason. Okay, if you share the work or share the cost of something, you can use these phrasal verbs. You can say we all chipped in £50 to buy, I'm not sure, perhaps we chipped in £50 to buy some kind of, well, to rent a property for a few days. Perhaps you're going on holiday. I did this recently and we all chipped in some money to share the house for a few days. It was some members of my family and I who chipped in some money to share the house. You can say we all put in £50 and shared the house. So put in, it's just like chip in. We all put in some money, we all chipped in some money to share the cost. So notice that you chip in money, but you go in on something. So we all went in on the cost of the house. We all went in on the house. You can also go in on a pizza. Yeah, let's say you're hungry, but you don't want a whole pizza. So you decide to go in on a pizza with a friend and you both chip in £5 and you manage to go in on a pizza and you half the pizza. So you can also say we clubbed together to buy the pizza. This one doesn't have an object, it's intransitive, but it means the same. It means to share the cost of something. So we clubbed together to buy a pizza. The last two involve work, and if you pitch in, you all help to get some kind of job done. So you all pitch in, you all do a little bit of work to get some kind of job done. And if you need help to get some kind of job done, you need to involve other people. So you need to rope some others in. You need to rope some other people in order to finish off the job. So this one just means involve other people, rope someone in. It makes me think of a cowboy with a lasso roping somebody in. But it just means to involve that, to get a few other people involved in your project, whatever that be. Okay, publicly declare. If you blurt something out or let something out, that means that you reveal a secret. You let some people in on your secret. So this is usually when you put your foot in your mouth. Yeah, you blurt something out. We have the idiom to put your foot in your mouth. And it means to say something you shouldn't have said. And the same with blurt something out. Perhaps you're very drunk one night and you blurt something out that you regret. Normally it's used in that kind of situation. Now, if you come out with remarks, comments, scathing remarks perhaps, or barbed comments, that just means that you surprisingly say something. But I want to make it clear here that the something, it collocates very well with remarks and comments. He came out with an odd remark, he came out with a peculiar comment. It just means he said, he made this remark, he made this comment. So please separate this one from come up with, which means to think up, to have a good idea. Come out with is a speaking phrasal verb. Now, if you speak out against something, that means